Hello, friends, welcome to Voice Learning. So, today we have one more wonderful story. I hope you like it. Jack and the Beanstalk. So, there was a young boy called Jack who lived with his mother in a humble cottage. Jack's mother could barely manage food for the family of two. Their life was full of insecurity and woes. One day, Jack's mother found that she was not left with any of her savings. So she called Jack and said sadly, "My dear Buttercup, our beloved cow is the only asset left with us. I have no other option but to sell it to save ourselves from starvation. Go to the market along with Buttercup and fetch a good money in return." Though Jack did not want to part with his loving pet, Buttercup, however, he was convinced that they did not have any choice. Like an obedient son, Jack immediately set out for the market with Buttercup. On the way to the market, Jack came across a peddler who was willing to buy Buttercup. "I can give you these few magic beans in exchange," stated the peddler. "If you plant these in the soil, the plants from them will lead you to the way of immense prosperity." Jack's eyes sparkled to hear it, and at once he accepted the bargain. Holding the beans in return, he happily rushed back home. Jack was really excited for the gain, which he considered the best bargain, and firmly believed that the beans had capacity to prosper him. But the same was not true with his mother, who was quite surprised to see him back so early. Beaming with joy, Jack gave his mother the magic beans and told her everything. The whole incident annoyed the mother so badly that she angrily threw the beans out of the window and cursed Jack for his foolishness. That night, the two of them slept without their supper. Early in the morning, Jack's eyes opened. Never before he had seen such a murky morning. Jack sprang up from his bed and rushed to the window to see whether the sky was overcast because of the clouds. However, Jack was shocked to find thick beanstalk, which had grown overnight from the magic beans and had become so tall and dense that the cottage was totally covered amidst its branches and large leaves. Jack hurried to the door and pushed it open, which was blocked by the leaves and stalks. He looked up to see the top of the stalks, but he found that those had grown to endless height. The sight made Jack curious. He wanted to discover where those stalks ended, so he began climbing. The thick branches of beanstalks were strong to climb up comfortably. Very soon, Jack reached a height from where he could hardly see his cottage. At this height, Jack could observe that the thick stalks were narrowing, and he could anticipate that he was nearing the top of the tree. At last, he reached the top, and where the stalks ended, there started a strange road. Jack stepped on the road bravely and moved ahead. On and on Jack marched and finally reached a beautiful mansion. Young Jack fearlessly entered the gate and knocked the mansion's door. Next moment, the heavy door was opened by a huge woman. It's a house of giant, and I'm his wife," she informed in her heavy voice. "Come in." The words petrified Jack. He wanted to run away from there, but he could not do so. You must be hungry. Come and eat something, said Giantess. Her kind words helped Jack to recover from his fright. He entered the mansion. Giantess served food for him in a huge plate. Be aware of my husband, who loves eating human, warned Giantess. However, she consoled Jack that Giant was not at home. Hungry Jack was delighted to see the food, but scarcely had Jack enjoyed a little from the plate. He felt the house trembling. Giantess shouted, "Hurry up, my husband is coming." She promptly pulled him in the kitchen and hid him in a cupboard. The next moment, dreaded giant was in the room. He was vigorously sniffing all around. "I can sense the whiff of human flesh and blood," cry, cried Giant. "It's only the meat pie which I have prepared for you is giving you such impressions," said Giantess with a broad smile. "Sit and enjoy your dinner." Giantess hurriedly served his dinner. Hungry Giant finished all in no time. He then shouted, "Wife, bring my hen, which lays golden eggs." Giantess brought the hen and placed it on the table near him. She then walked to another room. Giant thumped on the table and ordered the hen, "Give me golden eggs." The next moment, a number of golden eggs were laid by the hen. Giant collected all and placed in his pocket. Resting his head on the table, he then slipped in deep slumber. Sitting inside the cupboard, Jack was seeing everything from the keyhole with popped eyes. Seeing Giant sleeping, Jack quietly stepped out of the cupboard, promptly grabbed the hand, and ran out. He ran a non-stop until he reached the bean stalks and then slid with great speed to reach down. Once Jack was down back home, he was safe and relieved. The magic hand laid the golden eggs, and soon Jack and his mother became rich. Jack searched the peddler and bought back Buttercup. They all very happy, prosperous and together again. However, happy and splendid life bored Jack soon. He was in want of a new adventure. So one day early in the morning, when his mother was sleeping, he again climbed up the stalks and reached Giant's mansion. This time again the door was opened by Giant S. However, she did not recognize Jack due to his fine clothes and polished look. Fortunately, Giant was not home, so kind Giantess welcomed Jack in and took him in the kitchen. As soon as Jack sat on the table, the articles of the kitchen began trembling. Giantess yelled, "My husband is back home." She pushed Jack inside the huge log bin. "I can smell the flesh and blood of a human," the thundered Giant, who strode right into the kitchen. "Oh, it's only the meat soup which I have prepared for you," defended Giantess with a hearty laugh. She quickly served a huge bowl of soup. Sitting in the bin, Jack could see him slurping the soup. When Giant finished with his soup, he took out a golden harp from the kitchen shelf. "Play me a lullaby," he commanded the harp, and the next moment air around filled with a wonderful sweet music. Soon the magic of the music sent Giant in a deep slumber. Jack was witnessing everything from the bean's fine holes. "I must have this wonder harp," he murmured. Jack quietly made his way out the logs and reached near the table. He promptly picked up the harp and ran out for his life. However, the golden harp began shouting, "Master, help! Master, help!" Hearing the noise, Giant awoke and rushed. But by that time, Jack had reached the mansion's gate and began running towards Beanstalk. Giant saw Jack running with his harp and chased him. He was roaring angrily, "You thief! You stole away my hand, but now I won't let you run away with my harp." Jack was running with full of his might. He reached the beanstalk and began sliding down swiftly. When he reached in the middle, the beanstalk began trembling vigorously. Jack understood that Giant was also coming after him, but he was huge and so he could not move fast. Jack slid with high speed and reached down. He hurriedly picked up a sharp axe and began chopping the stalks. Giant could come any time. Jack was blowing with all his might, and finally the beanstalk fell and crashed on the ground along with Giant. The impact made a deep hole which swallowed Giant forever. Jack's adventure ended with a happy note. Thereafter, he lived a happy and, of course, splendid life with his mother and cow, Buttercup. The golden hen ensured their prosperity, and the golden harp filled melody in their life. I hope you like this story, and for upcoming stories and wonderful kids stories will be coming soon. So please subscribe my channel and like the button. Bye. Take care.